Hello and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into the world of probiotics. You know, it's a space that's absolutely packed with products, all making big promises. And if you've ever tried one, you've probably been left wondering the same thing.
It's a question a lot of us have asked, right? I mean, if you're going to take something every single day, you want to know it's not just a shot in the dark. For so many people, the results just aren't there, and it turns out there's a really good scientific reason why.
And there it is. That's the main villain of our story. Your stomach is, by design, a brutal environment. It's an acid bath meant to break things down. The problem is, a lot of standard probiotics just can't handle the heat. The good bacteria get wiped out long before they ever get to your colon, which is where you actually need them to be.
So, let's get into our first section, the probiotic paradox. We're going to break down what actually makes a probiotic work and look at how one company is using some pretty clever science to solve this whole survival issue.
This quote right here, this could be from almost anyone who's been down the probiotic aisle. You try one, nothing happens. You try another, still nothing. That feeling of, is this even doing anything, is so common, and it's exactly why we need to look under the hood at the science. Okay, so this brings us to a really important word, synbiotic. Think of it like a tag team. A regular probiotic just gives you the beneficial bacteria. A synbiotic, on the other hand, is a two-in-one. It delivers the probiotics, the good bacteria, and their lunch, which we call prebiotics. It's this symbiotic idea that's at the very heart of the product we're looking at today, Seed.
And this chart really lays it all out. You see your standard probiotics on one side, usually just probiotic, maybe a few strains. Then you have Seed on the other. It's a synbiotic, first of all. It's got way more strains, 24 of them, but the real game changer here is that claim on survivability and the intense focus on scientific backing for every single strain.
All right, Section 2, the science of survival. This is where things get really cool because we get to see the actual technology that makes this product so different. So how exactly did they solve that whole stomach acid problem?
Well, the secret sauce is this really clever delivery system. It's a patented piece of tech called the ViaCap. It's basically a capsule inside of another capsule, and it's designed to be a tiny armored vehicle for the live bacteria. Look at how this works. It's brilliant. First, that outer capsule, which holds the prebiotics, dissolves pretty early on. It's the shield. It takes the hit from the stomach acid, protecting the precious cargo inside. This lets that smaller inner capsule travel safely all the way down to the colon, where it finally opens up and releases the probiotics right where they need to be to do their job.
So how do you even count these tiny things? Well, you've probably seen CFU on probiotic bottles. That stands for colony-forming units, and it's kind of an old-school estimate. Seed uses a newer, much more precise method called AFU, or active fluorescent units. They use this high-tech method to get an exact count of every single viable bacteria, which is a huge step for transparency.
And that brings us to this number, 53.6 billion AFU. The point isn't just that it's a big number. The point is that it's a precise one. They're telling you exactly what's in there, moving away from the guesswork of the old CFU model.
Okay, on to Section 3, from lab to real life. The science is impressive on paper, sure, but does it actually do anything for real people? Let's check out the clinical research and what users are actually saying.
Now this is where it gets really interesting. This chart shows results from an actual clinical trial on the formula. They saw a massive 400% increase in beneficial bifidobacterium. And get this, thanks to that pomegranate prebiotic in the outer shell, 100% of participants started producing a special compound called urolithin A, which is a huge deal for promoting gut and cellular health.
And that kind of science leads to this kind of real-world experience. You hear about urolithin A and bifidobacterium, and what does it feel like? Well, for this person, it felt like the morning bloat was just gone. Digestion got regular and easy. That's the result people are actually looking for. Now, it's crucial to understand that these 24 strains aren't just a random mix. They're organized like a team of specialists. You've got the main blend for digestive health, of course, but then there are other teams of strains in there specifically to support your skin, your heart health, and even to help your body create its own vitamins, like folate.
And here's a perfect example of that targeted approach in action. This user saw a dramatic improvement in their skin.
That's not a coincidence. That's that dermatological health blend, that gut-skin axis they talk about doing its job.
Now, this next part is a really big deal, something you almost never see in the supplement world. Seed is actually running an FDA-authorized clinical trial, the kind usually reserved for pharmaceutical drugs, to see if DS-01 can be a treatment for IBS. This level of scientific commitment is just on another level.
So with all that science and data, let's get to it. Section 4, your final verdict. Let's pull this all together and figure out if Seed DS-01 is actually the right choice for you.
Let's be really clear about who this is for. It seems like a perfect fit for someone who really wants to optimize their health, or someone who's been struggling with things like bloating and just wants relief. It's also great for that person who's been let down by other probiotics. Now, on the flip side, it is a premium product, so if you're on a tight budget, that's something to consider. It's also a subscription, and of course, you absolutely have to talk to your doctor first, especially if you have a condition like SIBO.
So let's talk about that price tag. When you break it down, it comes out to about $1.67 per day. So the thinking is, for less than your daily coffee, you're getting this entire scientifically backed system working for your health around the clock.
And it's not just reviewers who are impressed. The product has some serious credibility. When a respected functional medicine doctor like Robin Berzin says, "This is the one I take every day," that carries a lot of weight and builds a ton of trust. So ultimately, when you look at that price, this is what they say you're paying for. It's not just the pills, it's the whole system. The 2-in-1 Synbiotic formula, the incredible diversity of 24 unique strains, the commitment to clinical proof, and even the sustainable, refillable packaging.
And all of this brings us to our final section, number 5, the takeaway. We've looked at the problem, the science, and the real-life results. But what's the big picture here?
It really leaves us with this huge question, doesn't it? When you see this level of science, this kind of innovative delivery system, and this deep respect for our own microbiome, it really makes you wonder, maybe, just maybe, the future of our health really is hiding inside a tiny capsule. Thanks for watching.